Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday. Let's see, what are we at? September 9th, 2025. So it is time for my, actually on time today, day after Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast. And so, like I said, I'm on time. Had some, I don't want to say issues, but wasn't able to quite go as deep into the notes that I wanted, but I still listened. It's funny now that I say I'm changing the format of my podcast because there's not really much to work with Bill as far as trying to be funny or commenting back, so to speak. So like I said, I was changing it to where one of my days will be, I'll try my own humor and I'll try my own stories and see how that works. And then the Tuesday, since it's Monday morning podcast anyways for Bill, Tuesday I'll leave it. I'll leave Tuesdays as, we'll review him for the week. So that gives me his Monday and the, little bit of that Thursday before he does the fucking replay of the old shit. But, so yeah, let's see what happened here. I still gotta send him this fucking email. He keeps talking about baseball all the time. And, he's real, well, I know he's a Red Sox fan, but, he's real into it right now. And, like I said, I got like pictures and stuff that, is really cool of my family back with the Yankees in like the 50s and, a lot of different connections, so, it'd be really cool to see what he thinks, because I don't think he's, well, I mean, I'm sure he's met players and stuff, but, it's, how many people do you meet that, their family was hanging out at whoever's house, pick one of your, not even favorite, pick somebody famous, that almost everybody would know it, in a sport or acting, whatever, but I think it's cool, so, and, that's why my family are all fans of the Yankees, besides my family being from, my dad's side being from the Northeast. But, yeah, so, I was wanting to make a point that I'm one of the real fans out here that, I'm waiting on the next World Series win. We had a bunch in a row in the late 90s and one in 09, and then since then it's just kind of been like, not all crap, but, it's not been the same. But, that's with all the sports. Just like hockey, they're getting rid of dynasties, not on purpose, but just with the money issues and stuff like that. Let's see. Basketball, I don't really watch, so I can't comment. Football, my team, the New York Jets, lost. And it's funny, growing up in Tampa Bay, I was a big fan of Martin Gramatica, the kicker for the Bucks, when I was a kid. I know he kicked elsewhere and shit, but, I was a big fan of him because he was a small dude. Which, kicking don't matter how big you are, but it's just the fact that, like, when he got planted, because, this is back in the, early, mid-90s, whatever, late 90s, say, when I'm watching him, so... Like I said, back in that time, I'm pretty sure you could run in, like, if you were in a full dive, you could dive into the kicker, not on purpose, but, like, if you're already in your jump, it's not like the quarterback and kicker rules of today, where if you even touch them at all, it's a penalty. Like I said, you couldn't just flatten them on, at being a dick, but if you were already in motion, you're in motion. So, that's what I had respect for, was like the little guy who's taking these, big ass hits and still making, at the time, like record, or not record, but like 50 yarders and stuff. And, at that time, that was a big deal. Now 60 and 70s are happening. That's what I wanted to say is fucking his son, I don't remember his first name, but the younger Gramatica, maybe Nico. Either way, he kicked the fucking 60-yarder that beat my Jets, which I'm not saying the Jets are even going to be good. They're usually crap. But I was excited. They had a lead. I thought they might pull it out, but they didn't. And then my home team, I guess you could say, The closest local home team would be the Lions. And they didn't show out like, last year's Lions. I mean, it's only week 1, but, a lot of people were thinking, oh, here come the Lions, man. They're, out for revenge. Not revenge, but, they're out to settle the score of all the injuries they had and crap. And it doesn't, well, week 1, like I said, week 1 doesn't look like that's the way it's going. But, it's all, we'll see what happens. Let's see. What else about fucking Bill? He's talking about doing shows up and down in California. When I say up and down, I don't know how far he's traveling. He said he's going out to the people, but I'd like to know what people, because I live around people, and he's not coming here. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's cool. Take time off, be with your family. You got the money too, why not, and then a couple local shows, to keep yourself fresh for when you go national or international, like not full time, but on an actual tour. Look at you with the balls of a bear, cutting over when you need to. Sorry, someone in traffic actually did something, I mean, I would say smart, but everybody else would probably say, oh my God, look at that, what they did. But nobody crashed, and nobody honked, nobody had skid or nothing, and everybody's fucking moving happy. But, anyway, yeah, back to Bill. Oh, speaking of moving happy and driving, since that's, my podcast is in my truck, or, on the way either to work, home from work, etc., blah, blah, blah. But, Bill's lately he's been having issues with, like, birds and kids and fucking, like, people and just background noise, I guess, when he's trying to do his podcast, because he's sitting in his truck or his car or his, Nia's car or whatever the fuck. But either way, it seems to become a consistent thing lately, and I think it's funny. And then I think Bill even mentioned at one point, he's like, a lot of people are liking these podcasts lately, and he mentioned something about it was because it's like he's being the grumpy Bill, or the even if he's playing, it's the play angry Bill. And I mean, that's the comedian everybody laughed at, like Jimmy Carr, if you know Jimmy Carr. I'm gonna say UK, I don't know exactly, I don't want to be incorrect, but English, somewhere in the British Isles or whatever you want to fucking, but he's touring the world, but he's been in the US a little bit. And but no, the point is, Jimmy Carr, his style of humor, like I said, well, not like I said, but his style of humor is, he starts a joke and it seems like, wow, this is a very bad topic, nobody would be able to talk about this outside of this building, and then he makes it even more bad. Like, he takes it a level further as a joke. But like I was saying, now, like I can say that, like I was saying, he takes it a level further, but it's not something I could just go up to, not even just work, but like my friends, and just make that joke out of context and not knowing I'm trying to be funny, or I don't know. But point is, everybody got to like the angry Bill, like George Carlin. He didn't come out and have any, on any of his last, or even in his middle ones, like he never came out and had a totally different show, like just, hey, all that stuff I said about people acting crazy, just ignore it, man. I'm changing, I'm older, I'm happy, people are happy. Like, no, George, his last special, he was, talking shit about the way people act and think and move and breathe and all that shit. So I think that's the Bill that everybody's hoping to see, but you could tell he's trying to get away from that. And like I said, go ahead and get away from it in your normal, like, well, I guess it's hard to say fucking get away from it in your regular life and then not in your comedy life, because it's getting, obviously you got to write about it, you got to think about it, and then you got to repeat it at all your shows. So yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Because I don't know many comedians that change styles, you know, somewhat through their careers. And I'm not gonna say stay relevant, but I haven't seen it. You know, like even like Cat Williams, you know, his style's been his style since he, you know, as far back as I can remember watching his stand-ups. I mean, obviously the jokes are different, and he's aging, and so he's, you know, talking about having kids and stuff, and not getting in trouble anymore, versus, you know, younger, it was not having kids, getting in trouble, whatever. So yeah, that stuff, yeah, but he's still the same style, and I don't know, we'll see, you know, when next time Bill does a special, because even this one, the Drop Dead Years, it was a little laid back, you know, it was a little friendly, for, you know, for what we're used to with Bill, at least. So, yeah, we'll see, you know, come on the next one, if he's, you know, if he's just, done away with the, the angry persona, or, you know, where he, I'd like to see where he transitions this, you know, how his comedy evolves. That's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to take years, because it's like one special every couple fucking years, so it's probably going to take till he's gone, until I'm an old man or something. But, you know, I like studying people. I took psychology in college, so screw it. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I had to put you on pause. I know you probably didn't even notice, besides maybe a click, but I had to blow my nose, and it was more than just that little sniffle I get sometimes, so I didn't want to make a bunch of fucking noise in the cast. You know, nobody wants to hear that shit. It's like chewing macaroni. Nobody wants to hear you chew macaroni. Let's see. Man, it sucks that I listened to him, but like I said, I just had a couple issues that I'm dealing with, that taking my focus and my time away from the stuff I want, and that's why I've been late and trying to get back on schedule. So, you know what? Fuck it, I'll make this part 1, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-listen to Bill tonight, take some notes down about what he says and what he talks about, and actually make something, you know, actually make a reaction cast to fucking Bill, instead of sitting here like, oh, I don't know what he said. So this will be part 1, I'm going to post it today, tonight, whatever, and then part 2 will be posted in, well, I don't want to say in the morning just in case, but it'll be tomorrow. You know, what am I looking for here? It'll be tomorrow, as long as everything goes well, which I'm expecting, hoping. But, you know, so yeah, this will be part 1. I had a couple comments, but like I said, I didn't get quite into Bill like I wanted to, and I got shit I gotta take care of. So, like I said, I'll throw this in as a part 1. You know, get your feet wet, and then we'll jump into the pool of Bill Burr tomorrow, and I'll have all my reactions and answers and thoughts on the shit he says, and then I'll go fuck myself like everybody else, and like, you know, like he says. So yeah, that's part 1. Talk to you tomorrow. Go fuck yourselves, and see you on part 2.